Alright guys, here to talk about The Good Place, Season 1, Episode 3. So, we learned a lot in this episode.
Oh, this is a great episode.
Yeah.
Honestly, part of me, and I almost just said it, unironically, but I'm like, why are we doing this show? This is so weird for us. But this episode really sold me on like a lot of the like different directions that stuff's going in. Or
yeah,
whatever.
it's getting back into it. Like the rhythm is being found.
Well, yeah, and like I think for the first 2 episodes, even it was kind of like everything that happened. I'm like, oh, is this what the show's gonna be? What's the show gonna be? And I wasn't sure, and we're still not 100% sure. But I'm getting more sure, and the stuff that's being set up is interesting enough that I'm like, yeah, every episode is a short, tightly packed, dense, ball of like things. I'm never like, I get it, all right, she's whatever, right? I'm very much
and
like,
a good amount of like jokes per per minute here, and most of them landing at least a soft land. I'm enjoying her character more. This episode I thought was a little better in the fact that it didn't have as many flashbacks that I thought were like trying too hard.
Yeah, I like those flashbacks.
It's not that I don't like them. I don't like flashbacks if they're not like on. And I feel like a lot of these ones are like, it's like, well, he's going through the motions, but he wasn't hitting it out of the park. Okay. And I thought this episode was a little better in that regard. These
flashbacks were with some dude she was dating at the time.
Yeah.
About like being a good person.
Yes.
And not.
It is funny how often she is actually a horrible person.
Yeah.
Or has debates about being a good person.
It's pretty good. Her showing up later and being like, I got tickets, oh no, but those guys are rapists or something, and I guess we can't enjoy this anymore either because there's bad stuff everywhere. And he's like, come on, what's the big deal? And she's like, because I've been going to that coffee shop and I got my thing punched so many times or whatever.
Yeah.
Just to like rub it, in. Oh, what does she say?
Well,
right?
I think that's after she's.
I know you're gonna break up with me. I read your emails with your dad or whatever. Like it's so shitty, the whole thing, right? It's so amazing, and the flashbacks always hang off of like, hey, listen, I'm not perfect, but I'm a good person.
Yeah.
And then it cuts back to her like being so shitty. But
now, to jump to the end here.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say we should jump around.
Did you think that was good or bad that the monk also doesn't belong there?
I like it because so he did write the note. That's great because we thought he wrote the note because he doesn't talk or whatever, right? We even get the setup of like, Tahani's like escalating that he never talks and it's this weird thing where it's like, we get more of Michael being like, I'm just trying to keep all this together. All right, we're working. It's fine. We're trying some new stuff. It's not working out. We're going to pivot. It's hey guys, we're doing great. It's fine. Mm-hmm. And then now we see like maybe this is another mistake he's made. These are more problems or whatever that are going on. I do think it's kind of a stretch and kind of goofy because how did he like end up as a monk though? How did that happen? Right?
Well,
because he's not. He's like, I'm freaking out, homie.
He's certainly not a monk. I can see that being a thing. It's like okay, I know I'm not in the right place, but this is heaven and I should be in hell. Just don't say anything.
Right, but then like he's wearing monk stuff and like he knows he is a monk so that he can do the vow of silence bit. Or something like that, right?
When she first went up there, it showed a list of all of her deeds on the wall. So like she knew who she was supposed to be. Remember, she was like, "That's not my life." So I'm sure he watched that, saw that his person had a vow of silence, and he's like, "Okay, I don't talk. All right."
And Michael, so they may even show this.
And I think you are just popped up in clothes that you would wear.
And Michael gives you the walkthrough. So he might have said, "And I understand if you want to maintain your vow of silence for the first few thousand years, that's fine," or something dumb like that. And then he goes like, yes, good, nailed it, or something like, right?
Yeah.
And I wonder who showed up first, Tahani or Gianu, right?
They all show up the same day.
Oh, did they all show up the same day?
I think we heard his wife say that today.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Or say that in this episode.
So your soulmate has to die on the same day, or do you get held?
Well, no, because they were saying, I want to go and welcome everyone to the neighborhood, and she's like, I want to welcome everyone to the neighborhood, even though we all got here on the same day,
Interesting. Okay.
So we'll see. But it is an interesting thing. So you happen to die on the day your soulmate dies, or are you held in limbo?
They must hold you in limbo or something. I thought that your soulmate arrived because someone else, I thought Chidi or one of those other dudes that were all happy, cleaning garbage, made a comment about something like that. Like, oh, and now you're here and everything's perfect or something. Some weird, I don't know. It's fine. The actual mechanics of the show have let me down before. I'm not too worried about that.
No, it's mostly a vehicle for one-liners and slightly interesting plots.
Yeah, big time. No, this is a so you don't like this is what you're saying?
It might be that like the character that's playing that guy, like, cause I'm like, and like I kind of wanted it as like, you know, oh, because he's so in tune with his whatever, being a monk, he knows she doesn't belong or something like that.
Sure.
The idea that he's also a sleeper in like, you know, like in this place by accident. We'll see how it goes. I might end up loving it, but at the moment, it didn't leave me super optimistic. I kind of ended it like, what?
What? Yeah, no, I mean, so like the show needs more dimensions, right? Let's talk about the rest. So like the rest of the episode, right? We get Michael being like Chidi's manuscript is like garbage, and
the way he pitches it
calls
as
him out on
hysterical.
It. Yeah, I didn't know what a headache was. I found out trying to read your manuscript.
Like, I can read all of English literature in 1 hour. Yeah. This took me 2 hours.
This took me 2 weeks or something. Whatever he says.
I kept reading the same paragraph.
I just trying to figure out where you were going or whatever. Yeah, no, it's amazing, right?
Maybe we could say 7 parts. It's all garbage, bro.
No, it's all honestly no. Right, but it all hangs off of this thing of like I think you should branch out and all that stuff, right? It's this great like thing, and what is he? There's some dumb thing he says. He has directional insanity.
Yes,
I was like, okay, like this is like normal comedy show, quote unquote comedy, normal stuff.
Yeah,
right.
He delivers it very well, though.
Yeah, it's like a montage of him being thrust into all these situations where he like does not fit, and then has to be like, this is not my thing, right? And that alone is like this is normal comedy. But to use it as a way for Michael to be like, because then he's like, listen, thank you for trying to help, but I really just want to do the same thing I was doing on Earth. And then Michael goes about that and has the whole thing about it, right? That's great that we had a whole structure around it, and it wasn't just, hey, you're kind of a nerd, maybe have some fun, and then he's like, no, or whatever, right? There's another like dimension there, right? Mm-hmm. So I think Homeboy being not a monk is like part of the whole like thing, where it's like her just trying to hide that she's not supposed to be there because she's getting the hang of it, kind of, right?
A little bit.
She's starting to play with it. That's enough by itself, and now we have another dimension where she's like, because he can't talk in front of anyone else, and now they're gonna have to work together to hide each other's like shit. It's a whole, and maybe
his wife's gonna get all mad, like oh, he gets along with you.
Yeah,
so
why are you
well,
spending so much time together? It's exactly right. So like it's like deeper than it needs to be to.
Well,
like,
and he
sell
can
the jokes,
open up
right?
in front of what's her soulmate's name? Someone with an E, right? Whatever his name is.
What?
Book writer guy? What's his name?
Oh, Chidi.
Yeah. So he could open up in front of Chidi now, too, because Chidi knows her secret.
And he's on board with the whole thing. And it's like, listen, don't freak out. And he's like, I have a stomach ache. Why do I know all these secrets? I'm not supposed to have secrets in the afterlife. It's supposed to be perfect. My God, my manuscript is garbage, right? Because, like, his character, too, he's like, we're going to have quizzes, it's going to be great, it's going to be this whole thing, and now he gets to live through all this, like, this is exactly what I'm trying to avoid, what are you doing, or whatever.
But she, she's working out the system, she's making her tree blossom after burning that bitch down. She's, instilling confidence in him about his abilities, and like, was I a bad teacher? And like, and clearly, she's not just like, blowing smoke up his ass, because she's blooming trees and whatnot, so she's becoming a better person.
Being a good person.
Yeah.
Maybe not from his actual instruction the way he's trying to give it, but certainly from their growing bond together. It's this nice. It's like a good feeling. Yeah. Stupid. I'm into it.
I love it. Oh, this one looks a little burnt. Oh, fork.
Fork.
Tastes delicious.
Tastes great. Oh, and the whole like, well, my first name means congratulations, and it's like, so my full name is congratulations, beautiful, or whatever.
You flirt.
You flirt, whatever.
Yeah.
No, it was great. Everything was great. Honestly, this episode made me feel better about the whole show. It was less like CGI and weird and like.
Yeah, I think they should steer away from that as much as they can. Like the little jokey, practical-y things, or with like the painted man or whatever. That was CG2, it wasn't practical. But,
sure.
But like those things. When I say practical, I mean like don't feature a giant shrimp for 4 minutes, cut to something for 5 seconds. That's funny.
More like within the grasp of what the show's capable of pulling off, and the budget or whatever it is. Yeah,
because they are showing these fantastical views and homes and craziness. Like they can do things.
Yeah, when he's like
why do things that are bad?
When he's like cartography and it shows the whole thing, and it's like fading out and all the vistas. Yeah, you're like, oh yeah, wow. I guess heaven would be just endlessly beautiful forever, or something like that.
You'd think, and that's just their block.
That's just their sector of it or whatever.
That's very cool. The idea of heaven, very cool.
Yeah. I liked Janet's AI going through all the changes and all that stuff.
Yes, a couple of those were interesting.
They were funny. She's funny. She pulls it off too, because that was the whole thing too. We have like a bot.
Well, you see, she is actually an actress. As she, I'm able to display different things.
That's what I mean more. Yeah, is like that could have just been like she pops in every episode to say some stuff to help us out along the way. But now we're getting this weird thing, and I like the how imperfect Michael is, and
Ted Danson in general,
and it's Ted Danson
almost always
doing a good job. Yeah, exactly. So he's hitting it, but as a character, he's also just like it's good. It's all working for me, and I really liked the first joke in the entire episode. Who died and left Aristotle in charge of ethics? Yeah, and he's like, Plato! Like he's pointing at the screen, and he has this reaction like, we've been talking about this for 4 days. What's wrong with you, woman? It's this beautiful like. I was like, oh, okay.
There are some great jokes in the show. Yeah, it's a nice feel-good show.
I feel good about this show.
Indeed. All right, so that's pretty much everything that happened.
I mean, we have to see how this, because like you, right, I'm equally concerned, because they could handle this whole thing with the monk being also not...
I'm hoping that I end up loving that character, but I'm worried I will hate him.
And are they the only two? Is this just what they're going to pull out whenever the show needs some juice? Someone else is actually faking it? Like, maybe they're all faking it?
It would be funny if, like, half of them are faking it.
Maybe they're all faking it, including Michael. That would be genius.
Well, how would Michael fake it?
Because he said, this is the first time I'm in charge of like my own thing, but like he's like lying to his bosses about what he's been up to, and they don't know that he's doing this with all these like souls. Oh, that would be hilarious. I don't think so, but
Season 2 in hell.
Season 2, we've been in hell this whole time. No, again though, but I wouldn't put it past them. This show's so like irreverent and silly that they can just do whatever they want. So
well, like a lot of these characters, while they are also good. Like, it's like, well, she's clearly a narcissist.
Exactly.
So I could see it being a switch up, and it actually is hell.
All right. That would be...
And, like, this is, like, that's the trick.
Nice. Yeah.
I don't know what the payoff there is, but whatever. All right, guys, that's this episode. Let us know in the comments what you thought about it. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.
Hello, internets. I just love watching JustDaggers. If you've enjoyed this video as much as I have, click that subscribe button. Peace out, homies.